All right, guys. So the Nasdaq is up a lot. Actually, let me see. Hold on. Nasdaq is up some. It's at over 22. So the Nasdaq is up a lot. Apple's slightly red. If we take a look at like gold, I see gold pushing up last night. Gold's getting pretty close to all-time highs at 29.50 here. 29.50. We got the SPY at 610s, the Nasdaq at 22.2s. 22.2 is a freaking huge level, bro. I've been watching this level for a while. Today we have the biggest thing we have today, to be honest, is the University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations at 10 a.m. Biggest thing we got all day. Last couple weeks ago, the inflation expectations dropped and just freaked the whole market out. We came in way higher than expected for 1 year inflation expectations. It made everything basically panic. What's up, Hassan? What's up, Mark? Oh yeah, I misspelled it. Thank you, Faye. Appreciate it. I just now saw that. There we go. Hey, what's up, Beach Bum? Yeah, the last one was big, and I think, you know, we've seen some dovish Fed action over the last couple months, or over the last week or so. We've seen kind of more dovish Fed action, so I'm wondering if they're going to update it to better, and we might get a run. I think that's plausible. I don't know for sure. We can only guess here because nobody knows what they're going to put in their report, but I think it's plausible that that's what happens, where they kind of give us a little bit better inflation expectations than they did last time. Let me check what it actually says here. Yeah, we also have manufacturing and services data at 9:45. We've got, that's basically it. Oh, my foot feels better though, dude. It really does feel better. All right, so yeah, today's inflation expectations. Okay, they're expecting 1 year inflation expectations to show up again at 4.3%. Wait. Okay, so yeah, so the University of Michigan inflation expectations measures inflation that they expect to happen over the next 12 months. There's two types of this data. There's two types of this report. They're both released 2 weeks from each other. The last one was exactly 2 weeks ago. Prelim and revised data. Today is the revised data. The last one was the prelim data, and it came in way higher than expected. Way higher, a full percentage point higher, believe it or not. Yeah, sorry, I got lost in some poker drama. I love poker. Poker is one of those games where a lot of investors and traders would be shocked to understand how similar it is to investing and trading. Poker, and vice versa. A lot of poker players would be shocked to understand how similar investing and trading is to poker. Yeah, but it's between Daniel Negreanu and this guy Sean, like posted this whole text email or this text receipt, like thinking it's gonna be some super like everybody's gonna turn on Daniel, but if anything, it just kind of makes him look bad. It makes him look petty and just kind of like bitter and insecure. So I'm just kind of following it. Yeah, and everybody's like, dude, I don't think this is going to be seen as how you want it to be seen as. Yeah, and I mean, I'm reading about this guy, and the guy says elite sports bettor, which means that this dude's just, never mind. All right, guys, so let me talk about some news. I'm sorry, I'm getting wrapped up in poker drama this morning. Let's talk about some news. All right, so today is Friday. Again, we got the University of Michigan consumer sentiment data, inflation expectations data coming out today. All right, so again, stock futures relatively flat following a decline on Thursday led by tariff threats and uncertainty surrounding the Federal Reserve's rate policies. Major indices, including the S&P Dow and NASDAQ, experienced weekly declines after reaching record highs earlier in the week, and investors are monitoring upcoming economic data releases next week and corporate earnings like Nvidia to gauge market direction. We got a lot of stuff scheduled for today. The S&P Global Manufacturing PMI and Services PMI at 9:45. University of Michigan's final consumer sentiment and inflation expectation data 10 a.m. It's going to provide insight into the current state of the economy, consumer sentiment, and inflation expectations. The biggest report dropping today for sure. Investors are relating. Oh. Yeah, see, this is where AI gets it wrong. Right, so I have AI do me like a daily recap of stuff, and so far, like, I already know what's going on. I'm just kind of having AI write it in a more entertaining way. But then I'm reading the third one, and it says Federal Reserve Insights. It says investors are anticipating the release of the Federal Reserve's meeting minutes from January, expected to provide clarity. AI, dude, that already came out this Wednesday. That is already out, dude. I can't post this. I'm just going to say, do better, AI. Do better. Not to chastise AI. Like, how dare you get this wrong? This is so easy. I said the minutes is already out on Wednesday. How dare you? Let's see what it responds with. I think I stumped it. I apologize for any confusion or frustration caused by my earlier responses. The Federal Reserve has released their FOMC meeting minutes report on Wednesday at 2 p.m. And again, I'm looking at bond yields, right? Because if you want to see how the market responds to something, you got to look at bond yields, especially in terms of like rate decisions. Hey, did we just lag a little bit? I'm trying to see if there's a correlation between. The lag that I get on AI. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm having Grok do a little bit, like let's see how Grok writes this post. All right, chat. So Walmart's tariff warnings tank the Dow 450 points as a price hike ahead. Let's take a look at Walmart. Walmart's cautious 2025 outlook tied to tariff uncertainty sparked a 450-point Dow drop yesterday on February 20th. So let's see. It did it really? Wow, it did. Look at the Dow dump here, chat. Wow, look at the Dow. I didn't even know this, so honestly, it did get it right. All right, so we got Nvidia earnings. All right, let's talk about it. All right, so yeah, chat. 5 biggest stories in finance this morning is going to be the new title of our posts on X every day. Again, the 5 biggest stories today. Let's talk about it. Walmart's tariff warning, Nvidia's earnings next week, the S&P after hitting record highs fell as the Fed minutes released earlier this week suggested rates will stay restrictive, cooling investor optimism. Egg prices surge, Dropbox earnings falter. I need some more data though. All right, guys. QQQ is at 539s right now. Look at the Dow slide here, guys. All right, I got it. There we go. Yeah, so S&P is dipping a little bit. I think the S&P is actually green on the day. That's what I'm saying. Hold on, let me see. This is where it gets it wrong sometimes. If I look at the SPY, SPY's green on the day. All right, guys. So yeah, Dow is down huge, man. Down 44. Let's see how big this drop is in the Dow, all things considered. Here's a hourly chart. This is yesterday's candle. Yeah, Dow Jones is down 1.39% by UnitedHealth's 8.6% drop after Department of Justice investigation into Medicare billing. So again, let's take a UnitedHealth. Ooh, man, look at UNH, guys. Wow. So this is one of the reasons it's down. I just saw this. S&P slight gains boosted by Alibaba's 4% surge after strong earnings and Ryan Cohen's stake increase. Jobless claims rose by 5% to 219K yesterday, slightly above estimates, but labor market stability. Walmart bounced back 0.2% after a big drop earlier. Alibaba up 4% after beating earning expectations. UnitedHealth again down 8.6% under pressure amid Fed investigation. Treasury 10 yields dipped slightly as market digests Fed policy and economic data. Potential federal workforce could impact future unemployment reports. Man, look at UnitedHealth. Wow. All right, sorry guys, I haven't checked the chat that much today. I'm kind of building something on the back end here, but let me catch back up. Inflation expectations issue. Man, I'm just typing too quick. Is it really that bad? Did I get inflation expectations wrong too? Hey, I appreciate you guys helping me here. Inflation, whatever that means. There you go. Fixed. Done. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm just not writing well. All right, let me catch all the way back up on chat. I got to go ways back here. All right, what's up, chat? What's up, Faye, Enrique, ER, Ray, Mark, Hassan, T, Pawn, Vec, Stiff, Oro, Roberto, Rojas, Matthew, Sam, Plus, Timothy. Is that another Matthew? Matthew. Radical. Foot feels better today. What's up, Faye? That rhymed. What's up, Harry? Gamer next door. What's up, dude? Gift. Celsius? Yeah, I'll check a look at Celsius. Did Palantir bounce back up today? Yeah, Celsius is up big today. Did PLTR bounce back? A little bit. Down still pretty big from 125s, but bounce back up a little bit here, so that's good. Yeah, so we got this. We're using a new source, and I want you guys to check this out. Tell me which one you like more. Okay, so here's a new source for AI and data here. So here's a new source for AI and data. One is actually Gemini, like Google's data. So tell me which one you like more. If you like this one more, if you like the old news reports that we've been doing over the last few days. Here's that report right here. Okay, no lag, good. John, I bought Celsius right before earnings. Nice, Christian. Told you to buy Celsius, not financial advice. Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to anybody in the chat. No offense. I just didn't have time to check out Celsius. Isn't there data today? Yeah, so we got inflation expectations data. If you read the bottom thing here, we got inflation expectations. I went and paid my vet for all our help over the past week. Probably got remortgaged the house. Vets are expensive, brother. I definitely didn't know about Celsius. Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't know about Celsius. Celsius is, in fact, a company that, regardless of the gains it made, I'm just not really interested in investing in, even if it's up big like this. There's a company called Bang Energy that got really, really big. Everybody was drinking them and then fell off a cliff, right? And so even with Celsius getting really big, I think like if you look at Celsius's long-term chart, this bounce is actually pretty freaking small compared to the massive drops Celsius has seen in the last year. Basically, Celsius back in early 2024 was at $100 a share. It fell all the way to $20 a share, and now it's back up to 34. But that's still a pretty small drop, all things considered. And I'm maybe there's some value here. It's just not my favorite stock to invest in. But if you made money, congrats. Like, that's great. Again, everybody's different. Yeah, UNH is down big, dragging everything else down. Yeah, we got PCE and GDP data next week. We also have Nvidia earnings next week, which is obviously freaking massive. But yeah, y'all go to that X report and let me know which one you guys like. Yeah, I mean, Christian, you seem to just be, like, trying to troll me. Look, dude, like, let it out. It's okay. I mean, you're banned for life, Christian, but, like, let it out. Like, there's no point in being here if you're going to just desperately try to find something wrong. You know, and again, I think, like, you know, just to kind of chastise you a little bit, I'm allowed to not like a stock, even if it's up. I mean, if you made money, great. I'm just not interested in buying it, and that's okay. You don't need my approval, brother. You don't need my validation, dude. And if I don't like your stock, you don't need to publicly, like, try to, like, trash me or attack me. It shows kind of emotional, you know, insecurity, kind of desperate to criticize behavior, man. So just let it out. I mean, you're banned for life. But let it out. It's okay, Christian. We're here for you, bro. I never understood the people who, like, they're like, hey, you don't invest in my stock, you know. You're the enemy. Like, dude, like, separate yourself from the emotion of this, man. Like, I'm allowed, like, dude, there's so many stocks that I dislike. I don't like Lululemon. Some people freaking love Lululemon, and that's okay. And maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. We don't have to, like, nobody's going to agree on every stock, you know what I mean? And to go through it, like, forcing people to agree with you, and if not, you're going to, like, attack them. Oof, man. Tell me you're insecure about a position without telling me you're insecure about a position. Definitely top 3 guys that got banned ever, for sure. You didn't praise him enough? Dude, it's the internet, bro. Like, people could tell me, like, people could be like, yo, I made 30 grand this morning buying, you know, whatever, and there's no way for me to vet whether it's true or not. And so, you know, yeah, I mean, y'all know I had to do it. I have the same hat, but it looks better on you. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. It definitely looks better on me, for sure. I think you should troll this person before the ban. Well, it's too early for that, bro. I'd rather troll them after the ban. He was talking about all the money he wanted, or he made. Yeah, Lululemon, again, it's not even that I dislike Lululemon. I think it's just a risky bet. I've always said this. Like, I don't even dislike it. I just think it's a risky bet. Yeah, UnitedHealth Group shares decline on Wall Street Journal reports of Department of Justice Medicare billings probe. Yeah, so UNH down over 7% pre-market. Wall Street Journal reported an investigation into billing practices at one of the units has been launched. Shares were around 466. The stock is down about 4.7% over the last year. The Journal reported that the Justice Department has launched an investigation into the insurance company's Medicare billing practices in recent months. And that's making people skeptical of UNH. But yeah, with Lululemon, it's just kind of... I've said why I don't like it before. And what you realize pretty quickly is, like, people are emotional in stocks. Like, we had to ban a pretty big, like, what used to be a pretty big YouTube channel that, like, was in the Discord and was in he was, like, in the Discord, and he was on my live stream sometimes, and he used to run, like, a really big channel. His channel kind of fell off because, like, we got, like, a I got like a hater email yesterday, and I was able to figure out it was him, and it made sense why he might be kind of bitter, but just being weird, dude. And like, people are just emotional. People lose money, they get mad. People make money, they get mad. Thus is the life of somebody on the internet. But anyways, with Lululemon, the issue I have with it is that this got really big in 2020. Like, 2020 has its own style. My daughter was talking about it. Like, 2020 has its own style. Like, it was kind of like leisure wear kind of thing, where like sweatpants and Lululemon clothes and like all the different styles that they have then. And I've been saying this for the last 5 years, really. Styles and trends change. Interest changes. You know, maybe Lululemon can be another Nike. But interest in style and trends change. Generations happen, and they don't want to wear what the previous generation wore, most of the time at least. Except for this current generation, which is kind of dressed in like the 90s. But I digress. Back to the point, which is that fashion changes. And I'm not really interested in investing heavily into fashion brands, regardless of how much money a company makes. And maybe I'm going to miss out on some money. Let me see Lululemon's EPS graph. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, I mean, it's losing strength too. Although the EPS is pretty solid. It's not bad. It doesn't look bad to me. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the trend looks pretty good for Lululemon, all things considered. Revenue graph. Yeah, revenue's up too. So, I mean, it doesn't look like a bad investment. I'm just worried about investing life savings into it. But maybe it goes up. Just because I don't want to invest in something doesn't mean you guys shouldn't. Again, make your own decision there. I might be wrong. Always remember, I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. Understand all this stuff. Don't copy me. I don't even dislike SoFi. SoFi's cool. Social finance, like, it's fine. Like, looking at the long-term chart is the only thing that kind of makes me a little sketched out by it. But it's up big over the last few years, and I think, you know, we need modern kind of lenders and banks, and that's what this is, like a modern, like, lender and bank. I'm okay with it. Like, I'm not bad with it. But, you know, with that said, it's kind of flat on the day. The problem I have with this, I don't like trading it. It's down big yesterday, kind of rebound a lot today. And this goes to show, guys, one of the most obvious correlations in stocks, finance, trading, futures, anything, is after big pullbacks, like big volatile pullbacks, most of the time, whatever it is bounces up at least a little bit. You can kind of see this here in SoFi. Big pullback. What happens from $15, we bounce all the way up to $15.60, but by the next day, very common trend pattern. You see it all the time. Hey, what's up, thinker? Hey, what's up, brother? My foot feels better, though. It's still not good. I can't really do anything on it, but it feels a little bit better today. Gonna have to give it a couple days. Celsius up huge. Good earnings. I wish I could trade, but I can't. My foot just hurts. Why does the market always spaz out at 8 a.m.? It doesn't spaz. Sometimes we have what's called the opening, the 8 a.m. scrum is what we call it. It's basically when, so at 8 a.m. you get a lot of random orders getting filled from overnight in different brokers. So sometimes you'll see like these big candle wicks, these big candles go up and down right at 8 a.m. But most of the time they just kind of retrace back to wherever they were prior to it. All right, guys. I'm excited for this weekend, though. I really am. Meta's up to almost 700 again. Meta's been right around 700 for a while. Again, guys, the Dow is down huge today, mostly driven by Walmart's, which is one of the more heavily weighted stocks in the Dow. It's down to 44,000 this morning, 44K. Big dip, big drop. Looking scary, looking weak. Yeah, we're going to start trading a little bit today, too. We're going to trade another combine. Let people make fun of me a little bit. And again, we got the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment today. That's the big report. Understand it. That's the big report today, guys. Let's pull this up. We made a little bit yesterday everywhere, you know. Let's see if we can find some good stuff here, to be honest. I'm gonna have to just reset and take a bunch of combines. I don't know why my dashboard lags so much. Is it just me, or do y'all's dashboard lag too? Let's reset. Alright, we're gonna try to get our alright, let me pull this up. So we just reset one. Alright, guys, bear with me. Alright, yeah, so we just reset one. I'm going to buy this dip, although I'm a little bit sketched out by it, but we'll take some size. Alright, so I'll show you guys this. This is a combine account, so it's a little bit different. Make sure you guys can see this correctly here. Put 3 charts up. I like 3. Basically flat here on this one. There we go. Yeah, we'll just let this ride. Again, the goal is to get $1,500 in profit. I want $1,500. Just take a little bit off there, lock it in. We got 3 contracts left. I'm gonna try to get up to 215 or so here on the rest. Where'd my video go? I'm trying to watch the chat here. I got too many windows up right now. Hold on. There we go. Size back in down here. I'm thinking about it. We'll try 5 contracts. I don't like where that one opened. I'm gonna take 2 contracts off. We're basically flat now. Limit my size. We'll add back if we're in the green. We'll leave this to sit on it. Everything's pumping up today. I don't know. Look at the Dow. Everything's definitely not pumping up. If you take a look at the Dow, all right, we took 2/3 of the position off. We're up about 100 bucks or so. See if we can add back. We just don't have the range as pre-market. Very choppy last few minutes. Bitcoin moving to 100K. I saw it push it up yesterday. Looking at Bitcoin this morning, it's at 99.6, so it's got a shot for sure. Again, we'll hold this last contract break even here, and at the very least, we should have a small cushion on the day after this trade. There we go. Nice. All right, we'll cut it off there. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, we're up about 160 bucks, 140 bucks, 150 bucks, basically. So not a bad first trade. This is coffee. I'm drinking coffee this morning. I went to the gym and did chest yesterday for the first time in years. I'm sore. Hey, good job, dude. Yeah, we got a couple hours left until the report. Report drops in about an hour and 15 minutes, to be honest. All right, so we caught our range trade here. We're up a small amount in this. All right, so we did get the move all the way up to this level here. Did you guys like this news report better or worse here, chat? So again, give me a follow on X if you haven't already. Again, here's the news report that we did. Great way to help support the channel. Give me a follow here. Help support us. They just know how to deliver a narrative. It's called charisma. Which one? Are y'all talking about SoFi? What are y'all talking about? Celsius? Which Celsius bought Omni? Oh. All right, so we got this movement up here. I could buy this and look to attack this, but the range in my levels works really well. I appreciate the follow. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Y'all give me a follow on X. Appreciate the love. We've been slowly growing our page. So market's still kind of stagnating here. I mean, we're mostly sideways. We haven't moved since 30 minutes or so. Very flat. Again, I'm looking at bond yields today. Bond yields, if we put like a 5-minute chart up on bond yields, you can see bond yields have mostly dipped since Wednesday when the Fed minutes report came out, which means that people are a little bit more dovish in interest rates than hawkish. A lot of people thought the Fed minutes report was hawkish. I think what it shows, honestly, is more people are dovish than hawkish right now. Good morning. Love you. You wearing my jacket today? Love you, dude. It's cold. Love you, dude. Have a good day, dude. Love you guys. Y'all be safe. I'll see you guys later. All right, guys. Coin lawsuit dropped by the SEC. Did it really? Yeah, Coinbase is up big. Look, so apparently their lawsuit was dropped by the SEC. Look at Coinbase up to almost 270s here. Bitcoin rising almost to 100K. Though I still have my black eye. It's kind of there, but it's not like fully there, but it's kind of there. All right, so look at this push up here. All right, guys. All right, chat. All right, so I'm looking at Nvidia is under the focus as well. You can see the NASDAQ just tried to pop up here. I think we're going to retest this. This is kind of a risky trade for sure, but we got like a triple top up here. I'm going to try to buy this and see if we can kind of capitalize on it this way. There we go. There we go. Look at this trade, guys. Wow. Look at this trade. Out. Look at that little string of trades here. So we just made 125, 250, 305. Or no, we made about 400. On top of the 150 that we already had. So we're up about 600 on the day. A little bit, maybe a little bit less than that. I'll take it, guys. Again, this is something that it's a very common, like, if you want to, like, and again, I don't really want to push it because nobody freaking knows anything that's going to happen, right? Like, nobody knows if stock's going to go up, down, or sideways. Least of all, me at beginner trading, top 3 worst ever. But what happens is, like, if we move up and test this range, so once we get really close, like, here's a high of the day, right? Or is this a high of the day? Let me make sure. Whatever it is, it's an isolated high up there, regardless of whether it's the high of the day or not. Yeah, so this is the high of the day. All right, so the NASDAQ, here's the high of the day right here. When we move all the way up to that level, and we're moving sideways, right? We're moving very sideways. When we move all the way up to that level and then retrace right back down to this massive support level here at 220, you can see we documented it, and we have that big upwick candle. I always like buying it because I think at the very least we're going to make another move up to retest that top level. And as we get closer to highs, it's very, very rare, team, for us to get that close to like a big milestone high of the day level and not at least like break over it for a small period of time. Now, we might break over it like this for a small period of time and then dump down and do whatever, but it's very rare that we get that close to it and don't actually make the final push to make a move over it. It is possible. Anything's possible in markets. It can do anything. You can go straight sideways for minutes, days. It's just very rare that it's very rare that we test a specific high of the day level more than 2 times without actually breaking over it. It's fine. Like, a lot of the time the market can range. But yeah, that's why I attack that. We'll see what happens. Again, anything can freaking happen, chat. Let me do a poll. There's not really any 8:30 news today, though. That's the thing. There's not really any big 8:30 economic reports today. There's nothing at 8:30. I don't think there's anything. Let me make sure. Today it's mostly like 10 a.m. reports, 9:45, 10 a.m. We got like manufacturing data and stuff like that. Yeah, today we got Canadian retail sales at 8:30. That's it. We got ECB Lane speaking at 9:30. Manufacturing and services PMI, global composite PMI at 9:45. And then the big one today, 10 a.m. existing home sales. But the big one is 1-year final inflation expectations for February. Looking into 1-year inflation expectations. Last time was the prelim report of this, and we showed up a full percentage point higher than expected, which, if you understand inflation expectations, a full percentage point is a very large amount over expected, right? Like, if we're expecting 3%, we show up at 4%. That's pretty out there, you know. And the market dumped 2 weeks ago when that again, we expected 3.3, we showed 4.3%. Market dumped on this report, and so it's very relevant today that, you want to tune into this report at 10 a.m. We're going to cover it live like we always do, but this is the report today. It's, in my opinion, it's the inflation expectation update. Now this is just, they have the prelim data, which is the most rangy, most variance heavy report. Today's the final version of that number. So we'll see if they update it to a better or worse level. Obviously, if we come in lower than expected, I'm hoping they lower the inflation expectation, but who knows? And I think it's possible that they lower the inflation expectation today and the market runs up on that as kind of like a small correction. I also think it's possible that we show up as expected at 4.3% today, but I'm hoping we show up lower and the market runs, and I think that's a good chance. I think there's a good chance we show up like lower than 4.3% and as a small correction from the previous report, and the market is optimistic around that. We'll see though. Let me do a poll here, chat. Should the Fed cut rates in the next 2 months? Should the Fed cut rates sometime in the next 2 meetings? Yes or no? All right, let me phrase this better. Should the FOMC cut rates within the next 2 meetings? Yes or no? Vote on the poll. And again, answer why in chat if you want. So if you got a reason why they should or why they shouldn't, answer why in chat. I don't think they're going to. I think it's very, very improbable that we're going to cut rates anytime in the next 2 months. The only way we would is if economic data just showed super weakness and inflation expectations showed really optimistic numbers, right? Like, you got to think the Federal Reserve's only going to cut rates if there's a justification for it. They're going to cut rates if the market shows up super weak, if the economy shows up super weak, if inflation expectations are under control, then they might say, okay, we can cut rates, bring us down, lower interest rates. If inflation's a problem, they're not going to cut rates. If inflation's a risk, they're not going to cut rates. Cutting rates, bringing interest rates down, stimulating spending in the economy, causing people to spend more is, can and has historically made inflation worse. And so that's the lens you got to look at this under. Will the Fed cut rates? It depends on what it looks like economics wise. If economy is weak, we get low GDP data, we get low payroll data, we get high unemployment data, then the Fed might be more likely to cut, but it's pretty improbable, just to put it into perspective. All right, guys, market's dipping all the way back down. Like I said, it's very possible we break this high and come right back down. We'll see. Top 3 worst ever. Don't copy me. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. If you copy me, you might lose. Some would say I'm the top 3 worst trader in the world right now. I would argue I'm like top 4, though. But, that all depends, naturally. All right, chat. We get high on you. Okay. What does that mean? Explain that to me, please. Seems strange. Cheers to you. Don't do it. Drugs are bad. Yeah, I mean, I think inflation's worse. I think it depends on the definition of that, but I don't think they're necessarily poor. I think inflation has been a problem over the past 5 years. Most people are unhappy right now because prices have spiked 2, 3, 4x what they were 5 years ago. And so that's the reason most people are genuinely unhappy. It doesn't necessarily, a lot of people make more money than they ever have. But, yeah, people are unhappy because prices have gone up so astronomically high over the last 5 years. And yeah, that's why I'm absolutely against inflation. I think the market should cool. I think inflation needs to go down. I think rates can stay high. I think the Fed can be hawkish. I'm okay with it, even if it negatively impacts, again, I bought a rental property last year. If it negatively impacts that, I'm okay with it because it's a long-term investment anyway. We just need this stuff to go down. It's medicinal? Okay, gotcha. Fair, I guess. Medicinal John. That's my new nickname. Medicinal John. All right, Bitcoin at 99.4 thousand. Again, down big today. NASDAQ popping up this morning. Coinbase is up big on SEC not suing them anymore, I think. News from Japan. Did they lower interest rates? Wasn't that already pretty recent? Though, did the Bank of Japan do something this morning? Last time we saw the Bank of Japan, didn't they raise rates by 50 basis points? You know, we're talking about like yen carry dynamics of like how cheap or expensive it is to get leverage based off of the Japanese yen. A lot of people use the Japanese yen low interest rate environment to invest in U.S. assets. And so if the Japanese yen is maintaining a worse interest rate than historical averages and people are fearful of that, then in theory people could start selling their U.S. positions that they took using the yen, if that all makes sense. That's what the yen carry trade means. Yeah. All right, guys. NASDAQ at 22,218. Yeah, I mean, it all has to do with the expectations, right? Like, people can always bring up the yen carry crash that we got like months and months ago, and I watched the Bank of Japan rate decisions as well. But people always bring that up. But the reason the market dumped on that news was because it was a surprise hike, right? They hiked it more than expected, shocking the market. People realized that the interest rates were going to be worse than expected. And people had already taken a bunch of U.S.-based positions off of the expectation that the interest rate would be low. And when it wasn't, it caused like a little flash crash. The market panicked, dumped, went down, all that stuff. But the last few meetings, they've been basically doing as expected. They haven't been shocking the market in that way anymore. And so we're not really seeing the same dynamic of like big volatility coming from those rate decisions that we saw months ago with the original one this year. He heals, but he also brings the pain. Yeah, I feel like Michael Scott. I feel like I'm Michael Scott when he burnt his foot on the George Foreman grill. That's who I feel like. I really feel like Michael Scott. My foot hurts. I'm limping around the house. My whole family's pointing at me, telling me I'm Michael Scott. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. Yeah, again, the Bank of Japan. We'll see what happens the next meeting. We're going to watch it. Also today, guys, again, we're going to reinforce this. The big day inflation expectations. Inflation expectations, massively important right now at 10 a.m. We also have manufacturing services, global S&P PMI data dropping at 9:45. But the big one's going to be inflation expectations and consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. today. That's the big report, I think. We'll see. It can vary each weekly on what's the big thing that people are paying attention to. But yeah. Yes, I'm going to pull this up. Look at that bounce. So, Pawn, hopefully you're long in your position there with the micros. Sorry, I want to put this up so I can kind of gauge this here. There we go. All right, we got a couple different combines now. That's good. Oh, wait, this is an actual funded account. What happened there? All right, hold on. I got too many windows. This is what happens when your monitor's too big. There it is. All right, pulling this back up here. Oh, man. Ooh, I gotta stretch more in the morning. Let's see if we hold support at that 220 level. I think that 220 spot's big. It's important. I'm watching it. I mean, obviously, you know the answer to that, Ruma. Of course, everybody knows the answer to that. We don't have core retail sales today. Today we got, again, we got Mexico's GDP report. Came in lower than expected everywhere, weaker than expected. We got Canadian retail sales and core retail sales dropping in about 30 seconds. So we'll cover the Canadian retail sales. We'll see if it has any influence over markets, but I don't think it will. I don't think this is going to be some big report or anything like that. I don't think it's going to move markets. We'll see. I mean, I'm waiting for it. All right, here's 8:30 right now. We got 10 seconds. We'll see if it moves markets. Expected at 1.7 for core, 1.6 for regular month over month. We'll see what it shows. Let's see if it moves markets. 5 seconds, guys. 5 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up. But let's see if we get a reaction here. All right, guys. There we go. Canadian retail sales data showing up this morning. Not really moving here. Or maybe Canada's late. I don't see anything yet. So for whatever reason, Canada hasn't really dropped anything. Okay, there we go. Retail sales month over month for January showed up at 2.5% for Canada. 2.5% retail sales month over month for January. Are they late? Okay, 2.5%. Market bounced a little bit. I don't know if it's bouncing on this report. So why is it saying Canada's posting January's retail sales and December's retail sales today? Maybe that's just the wrong thing. I showed 2.5%. Last time was 0. So strength in retail sales for Canada. And the market's kind of moving up a little bit. I don't think it's necessarily reacting to this, but it might be. Who knows? Look at this flush in markets. Wow. Look at this big dip. Look at this retracement back up there. I'm going to short a small piece of this here. Just one contract here. I don't think I'm going to take more than this. Just one micro contract. We'll see if we get it. There we go. I don't know if I want to add to 2 of these here. I'm just going to stick to 1. We got a little risk up there, which I like. But we're getting choppiness. I guess it's Friday. Maybe a lot of people are waiting on that University of Michigan report. And the trend is kind of sideways right now, too. So I'm just going to see if we start correcting back down to like that 200 EMA level. We're flat on this trade, basically. But the longer it stagnates up here, the less I like it. I don't want it to pick up steam and just make a run. And so we'll give it a second, but max loss on this trade's about $100. We're down 50 right now. I do like the way that looks. That looks better. We'll see if it keeps coming. If we get into the green, I'll add to it too. But we got to get in the green first. I'm not going to add to it now. I don't want it to get over this spot. This is confirmed over and over again. Yeah, I'm going to cut this right here. The reason I'm cutting this right now, guys, is because Nvidia just broke highs of the day. And so I don't want to get dragged up on Nvidia's strength, which I think is possible. Look at Nvidia. Yeah, here's Nvidia. I'm getting out of that. We'll see what it does, right? We'll see what it does. We'll give it a second. We lost $40, which is pretty small. And I mean, when you look at how much we've made today, tiny little cut of it. So. First move always the wrong one. Yeah, with big economic data, I would tend to agree, but I don't think today's data, the Canadian retail sales data, is necessarily big. I'm more watching Nvidia break highs, and I think that's going to drag the market up, which is exactly and precisely why we ended up jumping out right here. Which, again, this is why you should watch Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Google, all the big movers that influence stocks and indices. You should watch them because, again, I was able to say, hey, Nvidia's breaking highs of the day. That might drag the NASDAQ up and get out for a $40 loss versus what would have been hundreds of dollars in this one. Would have been literally hundreds of dollars. So I will take it. But, yeah. Yeah, don't do that up to me. Don't do it. Not an investment professional. Don't copy me. Just to understand all this stuff right here. Look, I'm the top 3 weatherman disclaimers in the world. Understand CFTC 4.41. Don't copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. If you copy me, you might lose. Again, people see me day trade. Do not day trade. You're going to lose money. Most day traders lose. Okay, if you are going to day trade, try a funded account program like TopStep. TopStep gives you a demo. They test your skill with it. If you pass the test, they fund you between $50K up to $150K. 90% split. The base one's $50. You lose, you're out $50. You deposit 5, 10, 20, 30 grand into your account and lose that, you're down a lot more. And most day traders lose, regardless of where they go. Makes no sense to fund your own account thousands of dollars trying to look cool. Most day traders lose. Instead, try TopStep. This is very similar to day trading stocks. If you see me trade futures here, very similar to day trading stocks. No PDT rule. I could day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, currencies. And again, guys, just most day traders lose. But if you want to check out TopStep, great way to help support the channel. They are the most legit funded program in the world. They've paid out almost $200 million since 2020. They fund thousands of traders. Zero commission on TopStep X as well. So if you do use TopStep X, zero commission, no PDT rule. Great way to learn. Here's the link. Check it out. It's an affiliate link. I'm biased because I get paid by them, just to clarify. John is the real guy. He tells the truth, yo. I try to tell the truth. Top foot. Then how am I supposed to look cool, John? I don't know, dude. I mean, you could do what all the other gurus are doing, which is cherry pick winning trades, post them on social media, never tell them about your losses, and you could do what everybody else does. Here's the problem. It's so easy to make yourself look like a genius online. It really is easy, guys, in trading to make yourself look like a genius. And again, a lot of the time, the people that, you know how easy it is to make yourself look like a genius? You throw 4 or 5 different calls out, half of them hit, 2 or 3 of them hit. You isolate those 2, you cherry pick those 2, you cherry pick your winning trades, and you just throw those up and you say, look how great I am. Super easy. People fall for it hook, line, and sinker. And then they start looking at these gurus like they're celebrities, like they're freaking Brad Pitt. Like, sometimes they get people to start doing free work for them and all this stuff. It's one of the reasons, I pay Pawn. I pay him well too. It's not like I pay him well. I think he does a great job. Really, he does a great job. But I've had people that want to work for me for free. It creates a weird dynamic, and I'm certainly top 3 worst ever. Don't copy me. No idea what I'm talking about. Look at this support level hold here. This 22,215. Market seems to like it. 60% of the time I win every time, guys. I mean, 30% of the time I win every time, let's be honest. Dude, I'm definitely not a celebrity. Yeah. Yeah. And I see it all the time. It's one of the reasons, like, the moment people start acting like experts, cherry picking their winners, posting them on Discord, I immediately start to trust them less. I really do. I really do. You know, and again, like, the technical wizards here, guys, like the technical people, like, technicals are good, but you can't put too much weight into technicals. You have to understand sentiment and flow and like fundamental news, because you can have the best moving average crossover in the world. If you get CPI report coming in super high, market's going down. You could have the best bullish crossover ever. Market's going down, right? But you got people that, like, and again, I say this before, and I tell you guys this so you can look out for people like this, because these people are the worst. They say before CPI report comes out, I go, hey guys, this is a bullish crossover here, or no, say this is a bearish crossover right here on at 829. This is a bearish crossover. The market's going to drop, right? Then CPI comes out a full percentage point higher than expected. The market dumps 5%. A lot of those technical guys are going to piggyback off of that and be like, see, I called this drop, guys. You see, my crossover pattern worked. You know, my crossover pattern caused the market to drop 5%. And it's like, no, it didn't. You know, you just got lucky because CPI came in higher than expected, but they're so desperate for validation most of the time because they're selling courses and they're selling services and they're telling people how great they are, that they just end up grasping at whatever they can to try to look good. And coming from the top 3 worst trader ever, my job is to help you guys recognize that. You know, I might sound like a broken record. Hopefully you guys can recognize it if you watch my stream. And so I'm just trying to help. Like, I'm not trying to, like, attack anybody. I never mention names, but I see people like this all the freaking time. Like, all the time. They don't understand economic data. They don't understand, like, what's going on broad fundamentally in markets. And they're so hyper-focused on technicals that they don't see the big story of the market. Look at the market rip right now. This looks like some economic fundamental news. Speaking of all this stuff, let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so DJT board has voted to authorize the leaders to create a strategic acquisition fund with select investors. I don't know if this is what happened, though. That's a big candlestick, though. Let's see. Let's see if anything dragged the market. Hey, my guy, thanks so much, brother. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Rod, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Look at this big rip. This has got to be fundamental, too. Speaking of all this stuff, fundamental, technicals, all this good stuff. This has got to be fundamental, too. I would assume it is. I don't know for sure, though. But I'm assuming this is fundamental catalyst release of some sort. But who knows? Let me check other markets here. Sometimes it takes it a little while to show up. Yeah, so GameStop CEO raises Alibaba bet to $1 billion. So again, Alibaba up 15% recently. Ryan Cohen upped his stake to 7 million shares, about $1 billion in value. Looking at our poll, 54% say yes, the FOMC should cut rates, which is kind of crazy. Honestly, I disagree with you guys. Y'all genuinely think the Fed should cut rates in the next 2 months? Do we have the economic weakness to justify that? Of course we don't. Of course we don't. Do y'all see anything going on in markets? How much does it cost to buy a futures contract? It depends on which one. The NASDAQ future contract's about $22,000. But I think buying the actual futures contract is less. It just depends on where you're buying it at. You got to look that up. Google's your friend there. pausing rates is more likely. Yeah, for sure. Anybody figure out what the big news is? Let me see if AI can help me here. See how good some of these. All right, look at this big pop. Something good happened. Let's look at individual stocks to see why. Let's look at Apple. Apple surged. Microsoft surged. Google's up. It could be Google. Google's up to 187. This looks pretty good. Microsoft's up some. I don't think that's causing it. Amazon popped pretty big too. So I guess like tech stocks just pop it up a little bit. All right, guys, look at this big surge. Okay, so here's the news, chat. So again, I'm going to tell you some of these AI systems are powerful. Okay, this is what caused this spike. Okay, it was fundamental, like catalyst news in stocks. A rumor hit the wires that Nvidia might announce a new AI chip partnership at an upcoming event. A post at 7:36 Central Standard Time mentioned Nvidia is up 2% in pre-market on AI buzz. NASDAQ futures are jumping up too. Another person noted that tech is bouncing hard. The NASDAQ is up 50 points. Nvidia potentially announcing a new AI chip. Rumors floating around social media, stock market circles, all that stuff. That is what drove this up. And if we take a look at Nvidia here, Nvidia popped up with pretty big red candles right around 8:30 here. So right around 8:30, Nvidia did have a surge, specifically at about 8:38 market time. It's over 140 now. This is what drug everything up here. This is what made everything pop. So but that is what it was. Yeah, Coinbase is also up pretty big after they dropped the case. All right, so yeah, we're going to post this on X. And again, we're going to post the breaking news that we have like this on X. Yeah, so this is Nvidia AI chip rumor. So yeah, give me a follow at Beginner Trades. We're running into this 243 resistance level. We'll see if that holds. Yeah, guys, and remember, the big news today, to be honest, is the inflation expectations. The big news next week. So next week we got an array of different economic reports, financial news coming out. This is the three biggest ones. Okay, Wednesday, the Super Bowl of finance. Nvidia earnings and their earnings call happens Wednesday evening. This is our largest stream. One of our largest streams to date is Nvidia earnings. The last one we had over 10,000 concurrent viewers. One of our largest streams ever. We had about 15,000 concurrent viewers. So next Wednesday, wildly influential over finance, markets, stocks, futures, NASDAQ, S&P, indices, Dow, whatever you can think of, it's influential for sure. Nvidia earnings. Thursday, we get the GDP report. Okay, GDP report. Last time it showed a little low at 2.3%. Big news for the economy, relevant data for the economy. GDP's data next week is massively important. Massively important. And then following GDP data on Friday of next week, and exactly a week from now, the Fed's preferred inflation metric, core PCE inflation data, drops next Friday. Massively important. This is what the Fed looks at inflation, and this is the lens they look at inflation under, is core PCE inflation data. That drops next Friday. So next week is incredibly busy. I'm trying to look to see any other big news today. And then again today, honestly, 10 a.m. Consumer sentiment and inflation expectations by the University of Michigan. Huge reaction to this report 2 weeks ago. This is the update on that report. Really important. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, y'all hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell too. You'll get an alert every time we go live. What's up, Radical? Hey, have a good day, brother. 50% per day is unrealistic. Of course it is. Who's expecting 50%? 50% profit per day would make life much easier? Of course it would. Do you know if you made 50% a day, you would be the richest person in the world within 2 years? You'd probably be faster than that. Let's take a look. Let's look at the compounding effect of 50% a day. Look at this resistance level hold. Somebody had the audacity to criticize my levels yesterday. Look at that. How dare them? You know, top 3 levels in the world right now. Don't copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But let's look at the compounding effect of 50% a day if we have $10,000. Just 10K. 10K, small amount of money. Let's look at the compounding effects of 50% a day. All right. Let's see it. Let's look at 30 years, 50% a day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 days. 50% a day compounding in 30 days, it would turn into $2 billion in 30 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And within 2 months, you would be a trillionaire at 50% a day, brother. A trillionaire. Okay? Please don't listen to nonsense gurus preaching 50% gains a day. Even 5% gains a day are never, ever going to freaking happen. Not consistently with a large sample size, without a lot of luck, and just kind of getting in perfectly. It's just never going to happen. 50% a day is not feasible. It's never feasible. 5% a day is not feasible. Even if you just make 5% a day on the same thing, right? If you got $10,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. In 30 days, you'd turn 10 into, you'd 5x your money. And yeah, you'd 20x your money in 2 months. Within 3 months, you would turn $10,000 into $1.2 million. Yeah, within 4 months, you're turning it into millions of dollars. Again, that's not feasible either. If you have a 5% daily system, sell it to Goldman Sachs, they'll pay you $1 billion for it. But that's never going to happen because it doesn't exist. Anyways, I hope you guys understand that. Hey, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you, Nick. Shout out to Nick for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Appreciate the love, brother. Thank you. Shout out to Nick for becoming a member. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Yeah, easy money, bro. Listen, that's what we're here for, guys. definitely top 3. Yeah, people just have to have like reasonable expectations. And the problem is that most people don't, because most people, here's the problem. All right, here's the nature of the problem in finance. All right, and this is why a lot of people don't like me in the finance space. This is why so many people kind of try to attack the channel or whatever it is, because I'm telling people the truth in this way. Okay, so many people are trying to sell courses about finance. So many people are selling courses on financial stuff, on trading and stocks and futures and everything. So many people are selling courses. Okay, because they're selling courses, they have to claim to be some great trader, which makes them embellish their wins, ignore their losses, cherry pick their best trades, cherry pick the accounts that they're the most green on, never really mention the ones that they lose. And again, I'm guilty of this sometimes too. Sometimes I lose accounts off stream and I don't tell you about it. Okay, the difference is I'm not selling you a course. I'm not even claiming to be good, and so it doesn't really count towards me. But so many people are doing this. They're selling courses. They're acting like they're better than they are. They're acting like geniuses in the market. And so because of that, if they told people the truth, which is that most people lose money, the people who do make money usually lose it for years and years and years before they actually make money, nobody would buy their course. Nobody's going to buy their course, right? Instead, what they have to do is they have to act like it's easy. They have to act like all you got to do is buy their course or their system or their setup and you'll be rich like them. They have to fabricate and embellish. And then a lot of the time what happens is the people that buy the courses, because they've spent so much money on it, they're desperate to believe it's valuable, even if it's not. They'll overlook red flags, they'll overlook nonsense, and just kind of praise the course no matter what, because they almost want to form a relationship with the person because they're looking at them like they're a celebrity. And this is really common in finance. This happens everywhere. Everybody, like you see all the finance YouTubers, this essentially happens. And that causes people to have unrealistic expectations. That causes the standard of trading to be looked at in an unreasonable lens. Everybody thinks it's easy. People think you can make 5% a day reasonably. They think you can make 20% a day. All this different stuff. And again, most of that's not true. It all depends. Some people are going to have really good years that are just lucky. And if you average it, maybe you can say you averaged 5% a day or whatever it is, or 5% a month or whatever. But that's just luck from really, really good years. It's just not feasible most of the time. No, I mean, he says, don't you do the same with Top Step? I tell people most day traders lose money. I tell people almost all day traders lose money. And the reason you use Top Step is because it's a lot cheaper to learn and lose. You can deposit $5,000 or $10,000 into your own account. 80-90% of people are going to lose all of that, I would say. Maybe it's less. I don't know. A majority of people are going to lose that account if it's their first day trading account. And so you can deposit $10K losing that, most likely, or you can risk $50 on Top Step. You're still probably going to lose. And again, this is something I'm incredibly vocal about. I don't think I've ever made it seem like day trading was easy or probable to make money. In fact, I'm actually the other way, where I tell people most day traders lose. Because that's the truth. Most day traders are about to lose. This is coming from the top 3 worst trader ever. And so, all right, guys, we're pulling back. My rant is over. I do these rants so hopefully people can understand like how it really goes. Like hopefully you guys can understand. Most day traders are going to lose. It's just the nature of it. And again, if you want to check out Top Step, great way to learn. You can either deposit the money yourself and probably lose it. Let's just be real here for a second. Or you could try a funded account program. If you lose, you're out $50. It's not the end of the world. But again, I'm biased because I get paid by them. And so naturally, I'm biased in that regard as well. But I think it's a lot cheaper to try Top Step and lose than to fund your own account thousands of dollars and lose that, most of the time at least. Can't guarantee anything. But again, futures market very similar to day trading stocks. I just know how I got started in the beginning, where I deposited like 4 or 5K trying to day trade stocks, lost it very quickly within weeks, and I'm pretty sure that's almost everybody's story in the beginning. But if you want to check it out, there's the link. Again, it's an affiliate link if you want to check it out. Futures have what's called the rollover. So every quarter, the futures contract rolls over to the updated, most liquid symbol. So quarterly, it expires. Why not just buy the QQQ? Because in order to day trade the QQQ, you need 25 grand minimum in order to day trade it actively and get around the PDT rule. You have to day trade. You can, if not, you're going to be restricted to where you can only take 3 day trades a week if you have less than $25,000 in a margin account. And so you're going to be severely restricted trying to day trade the QQQ. But you can do the same thing in futures, no PDT rule, and get around it. Yeah, QQQ is more for investing, to be honest. They don't cost 22K. The price of the NASDAQ is 22K, but it doesn't cost that much. You can get it for much cheaper, and leverage is easier. Yeah. And again, that's more of a reason to try Top Step, in my opinion. But again, I'm biased. Like I said, guys, shameless plug. I try to plug it at least like 3 to 4 times a day. So we average a little bit more than 1 plug an hour, which I think is reasonable. You know, people are still going to complain because people just get weird. But, you know, I think that's reasonable. We provide value in a service. Let's get ready, guys. We got 1 hour. 1 hour before the massive University of Michigan inflation expectation report. Big report, guys. This is a big report. All right. Yeah, so we got massive inflation expectation, consumer sentiment. We also got manufacturing and services PMI data coming soon. Don't apologize for telling the truth. Honesty is appreciated. I am trading and having your stream on keeps me company. Thank you and good luck. Yeah, I mean, this is what I do it for. Like, some people complain that I do these rants too much, but it really is like, look, if I could help people not fall for like traps in markets, then it's a net positive, you know. I would rather be honest and sleep good at night, knowing I'm telling people the truth, versus like embellishing. And you know, but you know, I'm not perfect. I do this to make money as well. So like, I'd love to be self-righteous, but I'm doing this to make money too. You know, it should be understandable. We provide a service. All right, look at this pop. Look, we went right back down to that support level we drew here. Look at this level, 22.20 or 22.220. This level stabilizing here. Yeah, what's up, Maria? Hey, thank you. I'm in favor of doing the Top Step ads more often. Yeah. Yes, this is a big report. Again, the University of Michigan inflation expectations dumped markets the last time it showed up here. So, all right, so we had a pretty good green day yesterday. Yeah, so consumer inflation expectations. All right, chats. Let's get rid of this. Sorry, I'm kind of editing some things on my stream. Yeah, we got inflation data. Again, we also have services and manufacturing PMI coming out soon. Look at this big dip. I'm going to short this, actually. We're going to take some size. We got a big cushion on the day, and so we got a little bit of room here. I think we can handle this. Hey, baby, how you doing? All right. All right, guys. Sorry, my wife came in here talking to me. We made a little bit of money. We made about $130, $125 on this trade. We sold because we started to hit some of this big support, and you can kind of see we bounced right off of it. So we're just kind of sitting tight, waiting. Yeah, so again, we got the big consumer sentiment report. Look at this bounce, though. Some of the top 3 levels. Hey. Oh, man, I'm sorry, Maria. Pawn got your membership. I mean, I guess Pawn. Yeah, there you go, Rojas. My guy. Thank you, brother. So, Pawn got the... Yeah, I was going to say, man, Pawn got it. I felt kind of bad. But, yeah, Pawn ended up gifting it to somebody else. So, good. There you go. Passed it on. That's the right way. Nice. Hey, nice, Rojas. Shout out to all the love today, guys. Got a lot of good people here. Appreciate the love, for sure. I don't know why these headphones struggle. Look at our poll. 54% think the Fed should cut rates in the next 2 meetings. Why? For everybody that voted yes, the Fed should cut rates, why? Like, why do you think the Federal Reserve should cut rates in the next 2 months? Or in the next 3 months? Why do you think the Fed should cut rates in the next 3 months? How much money is FU money? Depends on your definition. I would say, for me, 20 million. 15 to 20 million is kind of at the range where I don't care about working anymore and I can do whatever I want and just say F you to anybody that wants me to do something different. I think if I had 15 to 20 million, I could probably get that to where it's making $1 million a year. You know, just $1 million a year is FU money. You can do whatever you want. You don't need anybody's money. You know, with jobless claims are a weekly report. They should up. Brother, love the streams every morning. Why we stream so early? I would love to have the streams to hang out during the morning. Well, we stream early because I get up early and I like covering the early news, and I kind of think that's like my niche. Of like, we get up early. We're one of the first people to get up early and cover stuff, and that's why people tune in. So there's a reason. You can make 500,000 FU money if you have a skill that's valuable. Yeah, but working, okay, FU money means you don't have to work anymore, right? So having to work every year for 500K, I mean, it's not, I mean, 500K is really not that much money. I mean, look, I'm not going to say how much I make, but it's not as much money as you might think a year. Like on 500K, you're going to pay 150, 200,000 in taxes, you know? So really net, it's going to be about like 350 to 300K. And, you know, that's good money. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's over 30 grand a month. You don't really need more than that. But FU money means you don't have to work anymore. And so having to work to make the money is different. To me, consumer is struggling too much. It's getting hard to the point where I'm putting things back on the shelf and leaving it. Yeah, inflation's gotten worse, for sure. Inflation's definitely gotten worse. Yeah. I'm from Chile. 1 million put on something small yet at the bank is, yeah. I mean, it depends on where you live. Honestly, doubt we can get back to 2% inflation. Yeah. Pilots now make 60K a year, or 600K. I mean, listen, if you make $600,000 a year for 10 years, you're going to have enough money at that point in time where you can, if you keep most of it, which you should be able to instead of spending it, if you keep most of it and invest it, you know, again, it has to do with this, right? Like, let's take a look at the actual numbers here. All right, so let's take a look. So say you make 600K a year and you make that for 10 years and you make $6 million. All right, now let's say you save half of that. And so you save 3 million and you stick it into, you stick 1.8 into the stock market, averaging a 10% yield yearly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. In 20 years, that's going to be about $12 million that you're going to make from that 3 million. So you're about 4 extra money in 20 years, about $12 million. Let's say you take another 500,000. So this is wait. So you took 3 million, you put 1.8 million, that leaves 1.2 million left. Let's say you take 600,000 and you stick it into bonds. And so again, you're going to earn about $9 million profit over a 20-year period. All right, so 9 million over 20 years. You can divide it, do the math, whatever you want to do there. You can take 600,000, put it into long-term treasury yields. If you really want to diversify, you put it into like crypto, Bitcoin, whatever. You know, even if we use treasury yields here, you're going to earn $30,000 a year on treasury yields, and at the end you're going to get your 60K back. So that's going to add even more money to what you're going to be bringing in. And then you can keep a $600,000 nest egg that you're just kind of sitting on to live off of, to eat off of, or whatever. You're going to be fine. Like you're almost certainly not going to run out of money, and you're not going to need to work anymore. But the question is that considered FU money? I don't know. Like, you certainly can't spend it on whatever you want. You certainly can't buy whatever you want. And so, like I said, it depends on the definition. When do the important reports come out today? So in 30 minutes, we have services and manufacturing PMI data, which is the Purchasing Managers Index. That drops 9:45 today. At 10 a.m., we have the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment and Inflation Expectation Report. That's a big report. They're updating the last one, which showed up a shocking amount higher than expected at 1% higher. 4.3% is what it showed. They expected 3.3%, so it showed up a full percentage point greater than expected. Freaked everybody out. And today is the follow-up revised version of that report. So that's what we got today. A lot of this doesn't even include taxes, which is going to be a large chunk of it. You know, of course, like a large chunk of it. I would say $600K, you're going to give about half of that up to taxes. So really it's $300K. So everything I just did is rendered invalid because of that one aspect. But let's just pretend it's $600K net after taxes. Right, exactly. Exactly. There's a distinction between quit job money and FU money. There's a big difference too. Data out yet? No, not really. We got 30 minutes left until the data. There's drama going on in the NFL. Chat. I don't know if this is real or not, bro. There's so many AI stories. Is this real? So I'm seeing something, and again, I'm going to preface this with I can't guarantee it's real or not. Look at the support hold here. This is what I'm saying. People talking about my levels, you can tell they're just bitter, right? Because this level held to a T. This big group of support and resistance certainly confirmed, and now we're bouncing right back up. Look at this level hold really nicely here. So some would say top 3 greatest levels ever. They might be wrong. Don't copy me. I have no idea. But no, this is the news I'm hearing about in the NFL. It says Tom Brady continues to allege that Kansas City chief owner Tavia Shackle's wife paid millions of dollars to referee Clete Blakeman and a group of other refs to gain an advantage in the AFC Championship game. The Bills owner is furious over this response. Is this true? Are y'all hearing this as well? Or is this just made up? It's hard to tell because there's so many AI social media pages now that are just nonsense. And so it's really hard to tell. Hims? Is Hims down? Wow, look at Hims here, chat. So bond yield's pretty flat. Look at HIMS. Dropping big. Apple plans to replace QCOM modems and the rest of its iPhones with Apple modems. According to the information, Apple has been quietly working on a plan that could potentially whittle down the patent fees it needs to pay QCOM. So let's take a look at QCOM as well. I'm sure it's struggling right now. I'm surprised it's not down more than this, unless this news is old. The US DOJ and SEC is reportedly investigating a $32 million deal between CrowdStrike and Carahsoft Tech, according to Bloomberg. What's the HIMS news? Company announced it acquired a US-based peptide company. Okay, so this is just an acquisition. The reason markets sometimes react negatively to acquisitions is because, you know, HIMS is going to spend more money. And that means that their margins, their income might be a little bit worse moving forward after the acquisition. It's one of the reasons we have like a big negative reaction like this in HIMS. But in logic, it might benefit them long term. There might be an argument for a dip buy as long. Again, I'm not telling you to buy it, but I think long term it'll probably bounce back depending on market conditions. Hey John, your video feed is out of focus. If yours is blurry, it's on your end, brother, not mine. At least not from my understanding. I can look at mine. We're running smooth at about 4,500 kilobits per second. Yeah, so mine's running smooth right now. It's not blurry. So if you're blurry, it's on your end, brother. Yeah. Where do you think Palantir's moving to? I really don't know. I like Palantir long term, but short term, it's up there. I don't feel like getting dumped on buying a dip. You know, percentage wise, I like it long term, but short term it's risky. Long term it's great. I think short term it's risky. But again, not an investment professional. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Don't copy me. Yeah, it's you know, usually if you're blurry, it's on your end, not mine. Yeah, for sure. Fit me. What's up, brother? Definitely top 3-ish for sure. All right, guys. Hey, we got 9 minutes until the opening bell. 9 minutes. Yeah, we're consolidating here. Alright, so look at this dip. We're at to 22,219s. I'm thinking about buying it, but we already had like a really nice string of trades today. Like so far this morning. Alright, so yeah, glad I didn't buy the dip. Look at this drop here. Interesting. Wow, look at this drop, guys. Whew. What a drop here, chat. See if we keep retracing back down here now. Wow. Wow, dude, look at this spike. Weird price action, dude. This is very strange. Weird, like kind of out there price action. Odd. And look at the move back up too. Strange. Yeah, we got 5 minutes left. Maybe the market's just kind of nervous. Look at this big up wick right off of 220. Strange, dude. See what we get, man. I'm curious. I don't know what we're gonna get. Market's just been choppy and kind of crazy. Market's giving a little bit of it back before the opening bell too. Pressure. See if the market pulls back to that 200 exponential and bounces off of it. I think it's possible. Looks like the market's a little indecisive though. QCOM back up some. All right, guys, we got 3 minutes left. 2.5 minutes, really. Wow, what a crazy amount of volatility coming through. Whoa, look at this dump right at the opening bell here, guys. Wow, look at this dip right down to this 22.2 level, which is a big spot. That's a big psychological level. We're right at the 200 exponential as well. We got 2 minutes left until the opening bell. Volatility showing up, guys. Probably. All right, so UnitedHealth says Wall Street Journal report is misinformation according to Bloomberg. UNH defends its billing practices. And so, again, that just happened. Stellantis. 771 million euro lawsuit by Stellantis against auto safety equipment makers has been dismissed. Again, UNH says Wall Street Journal report is wrong. According to Bloomberg, it defends its billing practices for UNH, and the market is dumping down here. Nvidia, guys, is down to 140s, dropping a little bit before the open. I don't know if this is what's causing the drops, though. If I look at like the 10-year bond yields, they're not really down too much. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple's very volatile. It looks like this news is on Apple. Maybe the QCOM news influencing them. Is it UNH? Yeah, UNH is down, testing lows here. Look at UNH already. They had a report down huge right now. Wow. Yeah, here's the opening bell in 40 seconds, guys. Look at this red action, weakness showing up. Big turning in the market. Apple replacing QCOM chips in iPhones is what it is. Wow. So they're replacing QCOM chips with their own Apple version of the chips. There's the opening bell, guys. Big red, brutal action at the opening bell. Red weakness in markets at the opening bell. We're going to try to trade. We'll see if we get anything good, but we're going to try to trade here today. Look at this dip. Big drops. In 15 minutes, we got services and manufacturing PMIs numbers. Chat. Nvidia dipping. 139s. UnitedHealth bouncing back up a little bit. Look at this drop. Wow. This is a crazy buy here, but we're up tons on the day. And we just got to hold a tight stop. We're going to add to it. I want to see a retracement back up. It's still early in the day. Let's see if we get it. Almost green. Yes, sir. All right, we caught the bounce. You'd love to see it. Made $300 or so. Up about $850 on this account right now. $850. And we got out before it dipped down too. I know I'm catching a falling knife. I'm only really doing this on a combine account though. So I'm gonna buy this dip at 150. You know what? I'm gonna liquidate some of this already, and then maybe add back at this 145 level that we've been attacking for the last few days. Oof. Again, what we're doing here, guys, is we're building up a cushion in this account. And that way we have a lot of time for it to come back. But after this, we're going to switch to our regular challenge account. Or no, our regular account. I'm going to start liquidating some size because we're finally green in a position that we've been red on a lot. So, yeah. Phew, nerve-wracking trade. But we're flat now, kind of. Down a little bit, but not much. See if we can find a better way. There we go. Took another one off. We'll add to our green position. There we go. There we go. All right, we just made our money back. We're now effectively green on that position too now. Now we're up over 900. Caught the bounce. I think I'm going to be done trading against the trend though. I got to focus on trading with trend here. We only need about $500 to get halfway there. And we're trading way too close to the opening bell too, especially in all this red action. Yeah, it works out on any feature, I'm pretty sure. All right, so I'm just kind of sitting tight here. I'm going to put some big movers up. We got UnitedHealth, which is influencing markets today. Apple, trying to go green. We got UnitedHealth at 460s. I don't know if I'm going to buy the dip yet. We're a little bit too close. We're only 4 minutes into the day. And so it's just a little bit too early for me to take any big positions there. All right, so again, we're kind of stabilizing here, kind of waiting. All right, so we're bouncing back up. I'm looking at Nvidia shoot up. So we got some movement here. Apple's popping up too. So I'm just not going to take a trade right now, I think. If we move up enough, I will short. But look at Nvidia up here, guys. Nvidia up to 141. So this looks like an economic report or a fundamental news release of some sort. But I might be wrong. It is the opening bell, so we are going to have more volatility today. Anybody know why Nvidia had this huge monster candle? Trying to source it. What time limit you in? What do you mean? Well, every day the market doesn't dump at the opening bell. It happens sometimes. It might happen a few days in a row, but it's not going to happen like every day for sure. Again, guys, if you haven't already checked out Top Step, check them out. I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. No PDT rule in futures. This is what you see me day trading on today. If I can make $1,500 today and $1,500 tomorrow on this account, on this challenge account, they funded me $50K with a 90% split. And I already have 3 other funded accounts. No PDT rule in futures. I can day trade short, buy market, sell market. Very similar to day trading stocks. No PDT rule. And it's just a lot cheaper to learn this way. You can build up a cushion, learn how to trade. If you fail, you're out $50. Not the end of the world, much less than most people depositing thousands and losing thousands of dollar accounts, most of the time at least. But if you pass it, you get a 90% split anyway. You get to keep your first 10K in profit, so it's similar to funding the account. It's the best of both worlds. Limited risk, similar reward, and they've paid out almost $200 million. They fund thousands of traders. And when you day trade futures, very similar to day trading stocks, you can day trade the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, gold. A lot of cool stuff. If you want to check it out, they're an affiliate of mine, so I'm biased because I get paid by them. But if you want to check them out, I'll put the link up. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. There's the link. I appreciate the love. Look at the red action showing up in markets, guys. Apple's turning. So Apple's turning. Understand all these rules. CFTC 4.41, hypothetical simulated performance have limitations. So Tesla turning down. Apple turning down. UnitedHealth rebounding here. But man, look at this. This is why I didn't go long. Is this getting baked into weaker inflationary data than expected here, chat? Whew, little $300 scalp there. I'll take it. We are now up about $1,200. We need about... I'm going to switch to micros now, chat. We've built up the cushion in regulars. Let's switch to micros. All right, guys, remember, in 7 minutes, Tesla dumping down. This is what's dragging the market down right now. Look at Tesla here. I'll put Tesla up. Tesla dumping down here. Look at Tesla on the bottom right chart right here. Tesla falling fast. 350s. I'm going to buy into some pullbacks here, but we got micro contracts. We're just going to try to make a little bit. See what we get fish from this. Small positions. We got a flat right here. We got little 3 baby contracts. I got to add a little bit more to this. There we go. I just made about $80 there. Again, small baby gains. We need $250, so we're going to try to make that with micros now. Depends on how weak Tesla keeps looking, though. We're going to try to keep adding to this position. As long as we don't just break lows real quick. 12s. Okay, we got 20 contracts here. See if we retrace back up. There we go. There we go. Nice. We did really great there. Really, really nice. We only need about $100, about $100, and we'll catch it. And then we'll switch to our actual funded account just for clarification. It's probably good to let the first 10 minutes play out first here. Tesla starting to look weak, though. It's heading towards lows. Bounced up a little bit here, though. Let's see what it does. Actually, I'm going to immediately exit that. Tesla right at lows of the day. Tesla hitting lows again. I think it's going to bounce, though. We're going to give it a second. We got to make about $100 here. So we'll take 5 contracts, add to it if we get some good stuff. Even into weak action, we're going to keep adding to this. See if we can retrace back up there and catch the... we tried to take profit, just kind of missed it, unfortunately. Here we go. We're in 10 contracts here. Tesla's starting to bounce back. So we're going to give it a second. Kind of trading against the trend, but we're trying to attack small scalps, and so it's a little bit more reasonable here, but it looks like we're going to have to cut this quickly. Very quick red drops in Nvidia is what this is. This is Nvidia's pullback here. Back to green, but we're in 25 contracts now. Larger position. Somehow I didn't get filled. There we go. Oh my gosh, I'm chopping back and forth between 5 contracts here. All right, so we're still up $1,100 in this account. I'm going to buy into this dip and try to take some size. There's 5 contracts. 10. Going to add to our winning trades here. Blocking out a 5, and then we'll add right back to this. Oof. That's a big dip. Let's see if we get the retracement that we want. A little bit of one so far, flat. Are we frozen? There we go. Dude, it sucks. It froze right when it retraced back up into the green. There we go. All right. All right, we're about 50 bucks away now. We need 50 bucks. I know I'm going back a lot with micros, and that's fine. We got to watch Nvidia right here, though. Nvidia's choppy. We got 2 minutes left before consumer sentiment data comes out. 2 minutes left. All right, so the president is going to direct USTR to weigh digital tax remedies. He says he's expected to sign a memorandum today that allows for levies in response to digital services taxes imposed by other countries on U.S. tech. According to people familiar with the plans, the latest step in expanding a tariff battle aimed at addressing global trade imbalances. All right, so we're very close to this, but we got 1 minute before the inflation or the services and manufacturing data comes out. So we are just going to cover the services and manufacturing data comes out, and then we'll try to make this last little 30 bucks and then switch to our funded account after this. Again, manufacturing and services data comes out in about 40 seconds. 40 seconds, chat. We'll cover it. Here, David, you're being a little too trolly, brother. You know, again, friendly warning. You know. Let's not be controversial or divisive. All right, guys, here we go. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. manufacturing services and global composite data comes out right now. Let's see how the market reacts. Waiting. Waiting. I don't see anything yet. Hasn't refreshed yet. No data out. They're late. Waiting on the data here. They're late. Nothing yet. Waiting. Data's late. For once. Weird. Usually the data's not late. Yeah, so, okay, so S&P global manufacturing PMI came in at 51.6 versus 51.2, a little bit stronger than expected. Still nothing on services. But 51.6 for manufacturing PMI, still waiting on services for some reason. Services came out at 49.7, weaker for the services sector than expected. Here's the services report right here in chat. There's the services data right there. Market hasn't really reacted. The big data is going to be the inflation expectations. So again, stick around. That's the big report. All right, Nvidia's fighting back here. Guys, Nvidia's fighting back. Yeah, so again, services came out. I'm going to just take 5 contracts here. Maybe a little bit more. Oh, it hurts, guys. It hurts. Look at this retracement. Okay, we'll take that retracement back up, but sheesh. We still need to make about 200, so we'll... All right, scalping some movement here. Again, we're kind of flat over the last few trades. Again, so guys, manufacturing came in higher than expected. Services came in lower than expected. Stronger manufacturing, weaker services is what this data showed. Stronger manufacturing, weaker services. In 13 minutes, we have the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment and Inflation Expectation Report. This is a big, big report. It's not as big as CPI or anything like that. Don't think it is. But it's big because the last one was shockingly high, and it panicked markets. And so today's report... is very important. Very important. We got 12 minutes. Here's the timer right here. Nvidia's creeping back up here. I see a little bear action maybe showing up, so I'm going to start shorting here. I need a couple $100 to gain to hit my level that I'm waiting on. So we'll see if we get it. 6 contracts here. Maybe add to it if we need to. I'm pretty sure I just hit it. No, I need 50 bucks. Damn, dude, I was almost there. All right, now I'm gonna buy this up. We're gonna take some size in this too on a dip. As long as we don't get a big pullback, we should get here today on this trade right here. We should make it. Come on, pop up. Nvidia's up there. Nvidia's creeping up. Maybe the market's waiting for inflation expectations and those are getting baked in. There we go. Oh my gosh, did it really not fill me on that? Oh my gosh, dude. It really filled me poorly on that too. We were there. We had like $100 it said, but I guess it just filled me poorly. And then we get the big drop. Ugh. This is taking much longer than expected here. Wow. What a freaking drop. Yell at me, guys. Yell at me. It's a challenge account. I'm gonna switch to my funded account pretty soon. I actually like a long here too. But we got a huge size right now. We need a little bit more edge though. Unbelievable. Well, my mental capital is absolutely gone now. Unbelievable, dude. This has got to be the most unlucky trade I've ever got in. I mean, I certainly managed this horribly, but freaking boo, man. Ugh. I was literally 50 bucks away. All I needed was not a huge, massive drop, like I said. And honestly, we're still green on this account, just to clarify. We're still actually green on this account. Today, we're green, despite this monstrous loss. But we just got incredibly unlucky. Yeah. No, all I can do is make fun of myself. I kind of have to. We're still green. But man, I built up all that pride. And again, I'm going to switch to my actual funded account right now. We'll see what we get on this. But we're going to switch to our actual funded accounts. And I'm going to switch. Yeah, I'm going to stay on micros, I think, too. So it's all good. Listen, this is how it goes half the time. Yeah, we got inflation expectation data coming out very soon, chat. Ironically enough, we just made all the money right back. So, we went short. We just made all the money right back. Look at this. All right, guys, we got 8 minutes of luck. We just made it literally all right back. Look at that. Same account. This is the same account, guys. We're up 1,000 on the day, basically, right now. Oh, the swings. The swings. Again, regardless, I'm going to switch to a challenge account. We'll work on getting funded later. Or I'm going to switch to my actual funded account. I've been playing with these too long today, guys. So, yeah. We got it. We made it right back, which is good. He's a gambler. He's a gambler on a good run. Yeah, I mean, I'm trading a challenge account. And so, like, you got to take risks. I'm trying to basically speed run it. But now we're in our actual funded account. We're going to trade this much differently. I honestly see some weakness showing up. I see Tesla dipping down. It depends on what Nvidia does right here. I think the whole market might be kind of flat and choppy. So I'm going to buy this dip. See if we can take a small little baby trade to start the day in our funded account. And see what Nvidia does at the top of this range. Alright, so we just made a little $20 bill. I'll take that. We caught the bounce, exactly what we thought. And the reason I bought that dip is because the data's coming out in 7 minutes. It's possible that we just get chopped going up. And the levels that I draw typically are pretty solid. And so we're at a big support level, 22.1. Figured we bounced there, and we did. You switched over to that funded account fast. Well, I made $900 in the challenge account, and so I'm up $900 net, roughly. It's approximately 900 or 1,000. And so I don't end up just giving it back. I might as well switch over and just start trading my actual funded account. Again, if you guys want to see it, like, look, here's the account that I've been trading on all morning. You can kind of see it in the trades. Like, look, here it is. Same account. It's not like I'm hiding anything. Yeah. So, is this the same account? Hold on. Is it? It might not be, actually. Maybe it's a different account. Either way, I'm up 900 in a combine account that I started today. Maybe you guys are right. I don't freaking know. All right, guys, 5 minutes. Consumer sentiment data is coming out very soon. All right, we're shorting it on another combine account, and we just got out. Okay, so now we're up in both of them. Yeah, you better believe once I get that what I needed. What micro NASDAQ trade? Yeah, these are my trades today. Again, we got the data coming out in 4 minutes, so I gotta start trading smaller. Again, y'all need to hit the live button next to the play button for some of you guys. Catch back up on stream. We got 4 minutes before inflation expectations and consumer sentiment data drops. Y'all be ready. Again, we might get big volatility in 4 minutes. I'm not sure, but we might get big volatility in 4 minutes. Just be careful, guys. Again, I'm not 100% sure. We might. All right, guys, we got 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. Yeah, I'm not in anything right now. I'm flat on basically everything. I'm not in any day trading positions, at least. I'm just going to wait for this data to release first. Here's a big drop. All right, guys, 3 minutes here. 3 minutes. It depends on what the market fears. We also have existing home sales. This is data revision. So this is the University of Michigan 1-year inflation expectation revision final estimate today, or final revising the last one, which showed up a full percentage point higher than expected 2 weeks ago. So the University of Michigan data showed inflation expectations higher than expected by a full percentage point at 4.3% versus 3.3% expected. The revision to that data shows up in exactly 2 minutes from now. We also have consumer sentiment, which might weigh on markets. I don't know what's going to happen. Stick around. We're going to cover it as soon as it drops. Again, hit the live button. We got less than 2 minutes now. Less than 2 minutes. Hit the live button next to the play button on your stream to make sure you're caught up. A minute and 10 seconds. Chat, a minute and 10 seconds. We're kind of stagnating here. A little weak, though. Still a little weak, but stagnation, choppiness, sideways stuff, looks like. We got 1 minute left. A little bit over 1 minute, but hit the live button next to the play button. Be ready. We'll see what we get. We might not move at all. I don't freaking know, but I'm assuming it's important based off of what it was last time and how that influenced markets. I'm assuming it's important. So I'm going to put gold up here, and then I'm going to put the 10-year and treasury yields up as well, because I think those are some of the best ways to watch. Yields are down, which signals a dovish Fed. Let me get myself out the way. We got 40 seconds left. $30 seconds left, guys. This is just coffee I made this morning. It's not really cold brew. I'm drinking coffee. All right, guys, here we go. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Home sales. Inflation expectations and consumer sentiment data. Let's go. 5, 4. This timer's early. 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Already getting volatility. Inflation expectations were as expected. 5-year inflation expectations higher than expected. 3.5% versus 3.3% 5-year inflation expectations as well. University of Michigan consumer sentiment data showed weaker than expected consumer sentiment, weaker than expected consumer expectations. And the market originally reacted negatively to this report before retracing all the way back up here. It looks like maybe the first move's the wrong move, but look at this big reaction that we're getting on this report. What a big reaction here. Let's see if we continue up, down, sideways here. But look at this reaction from the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report. We did get a reaction from it. Originally, we dropped pretty big, and now we're retracing back up. This is a big downwick. I think we're going to go back down, though, but I might be wrong. Who freaking knows? Don't copy me. But again, consumer sentiment worse than expected, 64.7 versus 67.8. Expectations worse than expected, 64 versus 67.3. 5-year inflation expectations higher than expected, 3.5% 5-year inflation expectations, 3.3% expected last time. Revised up. And again, there's the dip. Like I said, I thought we might fill some of this big candle wick, and that's exactly what's happening. We're dropping now. Again, the big one I would say is the 5-year inflation expectation. I'm going to put this data up in chat. The 5-year inflation expectation higher than expected. There's the data release right there. 3.5% worse than expected. Consumer sentiment lower than expected. And yeah, there's a dip. Look at that 2250 level. Again, we pull exactly down to that level. Look at that. But my levels are terrible, they say. You love to see it. And maybe the baked-in move was this leading into this report. Like, we had all this bearish action leading into the report. Maybe that was the baked-in move. We're kind of bouncing back some now here, too. Here, look. Here's a rebound. Back up to 22.107s, 22.110s. Yeah, I think the market dipped already in anticipation of this report. I think people understand how negatively it impacted the market last time. I'm going to play with this. Take a couple micros here on the long side, but we'll give it a second. We're flat. I'm going to assume this was baked in already and we're going to get a rebound here, but who knows? I don't like that action. Okay, we lost like $50 here. A little bit more than that. We lost about 100, but it's small. Dude, my guy's just creating fake account after fake account to kind of say the same thing, dude. Like, how unhealthy is that, man? Like, this dude's literally just kind of creating fake accounts, man. I kind of feel bad for you, brother. Like, imagine that. Like, who does that? That's strange. I genuinely feel bad for you, man. I wish you the best. I mean, you're banned for life, but you'll be okay. I'm green everywhere on all the accounts that I'm on today. So look, here's my P&L on this one. If I'm gambling, I'm getting lucky today, guys. Look at my P&L here. All right, just a clarification. Look, let me zoom in for the haters here. Look at this. Ooh, man. Worst trader ever, guys. Biggest gambler in the world right now. You know, don't gamble like me, okay? Biggest gambler ever in the world right now. Just don't do it. Okay, guys? Just don't do it. Yeah. You love to see it. You love to see it. All right, let's see what we get. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Also, guys, if you want to check out Top Step, you see there's zero commission in that. Small amount of fees per trade, zero commission. No PDT rule in futures. You want to get around the PDT rule, you want to actively day trade, no PDT rule, good amount of leverage. Great way to learn how to day trade. If you're struggling to make money, like me, I'm the top 3 worst trader ever. Try Top Step. They give you a demo, test your skill. You pass the test, they fund you. You fail, you lose. The base one's $50, $49. Not the end of the world. Limited risk, similar reward of funding your own account, 90% split. Get to keep your first 10K in profit. Paid out almost $200 million in 4 years. Been around for 12 years plus. Teaches you how to follow rules, guys. It teaches you how to follow rules. It teaches you to be a better trader. It's kind of like a souped up demo account. If you want to get better at trading, I genuinely think it's good. And I think most day traders lose regardless of where they go, including here. Most day traders are going to lose. That's just kind of how it is. It's, in general, in my opinion, and I'm biased, a lot cheaper to lose here than it is to fund thousands into your own account and lose that most of the time at least. Again, they're an affiliate of mine, though. I'm biased because I get paid by them. If you want to check them out, here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. I appreciate the love. And yeah, I'm gonna ride out into the weekend. Mostly green. Mostly green today. Yeah, we also had existing home sales data that showed up. Apple has pulled its cloud encryptions feature in the UK after a backdoor order, according to Bloomberg. UNH says it's not aware of a launch of any new activity of Medicare Advantage as reported. And then existing home sales data did show up today, guys. So existing home sales data did show up. It showed up at minus 4.9%. Previous was gain of 2.2%. Today it showed up at minus 4.9% weakness. And then, so the percentage drop of almost 5% in existing home sales. The number showed up lower than expected at 4.08 million versus 4.12 million expected. I would turn it in, David. It doesn't make any sense for me to fear for the rest of my life over dumb stuff for that small amount of money. I'm not saying it's a small, but 100K is not really going to be life-changing for me, and I would rather just return it in. But yeah, listen, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Listen, love you all. Y'all have a great day. Again, if you want to check out Top Step, link is in the description. Link is in the chat. Scroll up. I get paid by them, so I'm biased, of course. And yeah, y'all have a safe and happy weekend. Again, next week, just to hype up next week, guys. Subscribe. We cover all this stuff live as soon as it drops. We are getting that red reaction from inflation data coming in slightly high. But the data was mostly flat. Next week, chat, we have Nvidia earnings. The Super Bowl of finance, Nvidia earnings. We've got GDP revision data. I think the last one was the initial estimate. Second revision GDP data coming out on Thursday next week. Wednesday, Nvidia earnings. Thursday, second revision GDP data. Last time it showed a little low at 2.3%. Friday, we have core PCE inflation data. Incredibly relevant report. Very, very, very important, chat. Very, very, very important. Y'all have a great weekend. Subscribe if you want to tune in all of it. We're going to cover all of it completely live. Have thousands and thousands of people here for Nvidia earnings. We'll probably have over 10,000 concurrent viewers for that. That's going to move markets, indices, stocks, everything. So just be ready. Y'all be good. Love you all. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later.